Prepositions are one of the most confusing parts of English for many foreigners. And it's easy to see why. Unlike vocabulary or grammar rules that often follow clear patterns, prepositions can feel unpredictable and inconsistent in many cases. They don't translate directly from one language to another. And the logic behind choosing in, on, or at isn't always immediately obvious. For example, we say on a bus, but in a car, at the station, but in the airport. For a learner, these combinations often seem arbitrary, and even when they memorize the rules, they quickly encounter exceptions. Another challenge is that English prepositions carry subtle meanings that change depending on context. A small word like by or can completely change the meanings of a sentence. I did it by myself versus I did it for myself. Or I will arrive in 2 minutes versus I will arrive within 2 minutes. These small differences create big confusion for learners who are trying to sound natural. What makes things even more complicated is that English uses prepositions in idiomatic expressions, phrases like in trouble, on purpose, or at risk. These expressions can't be translated word for word, and learners often need to memorize them as fixed combinations. Overall, prepositions challenge foreigners because they require not just knowledge of grammar, but a feel for the language, something that develops only through exposure and practice. Yet, despite the difficulty, mastering preposition is essential for clarity, accuracy, and confidence in English communications. Learn prepositions in chunks, not as single words. Prepositions rarely work alone. They live in phrases. Instead of studying on, in, at by themselves, learn combinations like on the bus, on TV, on Monday, in the room, in trouble, in October, at home, at school, at 5 p.m. Your brain remembers natural patterns more easily than isolated rules. Read or listen to short English daily, even 5 minutes a day helps. Pay attention to how prepositions appear in real sentences. Your brain slowly absorbs patterns automatically, just like a child acquiring language. Keep a prepositions notebook. Every time you notice a tricky phrase, write it down. Write it down. Example, interested in, good at, depends on or depends upon. Reviewing 5 a day builds long-term memory. Use them in your own sentences immediately. Don't just study. Take a new phrase and make 3 personal sentences with it. This rewires the pattern into your active vocabulary. Practice with short quizzes. Daily 2-3 minutes quizzes, apps, books on your own exercises reinforce memory. The key is frequency, not difficulty. Notice your mistakes, but don't stress. If someone corrects you or you catch yourself using the wrong prepositions, write it down and practice it again and again later. Mistake preposition is fast way to learn. Focus on the most common prepositions first. You don't need immediately. Use English in real situations. Texting, chatting, writing posts, or journaling in English naturally forces you to use prepositions. Real communication is where patterns stick. Mastering preposition is not about learning rules. It's about building habits through regular exposure and repetition. If you practice a little every day, then make natural over time.